Good morning, everybody. It's early here, I guess. I'm getting ready to start a day of work. It's weird to be traveling over the weekend. You feel like it's been a while since you actually did anything, which is kind of true. It's been a while since I've actually done anything for work, I feel like. Eh, Whatever. Okay, we are in Matthew 11, and in the beginning part of this verse, Jesus is talking about kind of John the Baptist and who he was, and then he gets to this point in the middle of it that's kind of interesting to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and read it. This is beginning in verse 16. And Jesus says, "To what can I compare this generation? They are like children sitting in the marketplaces and calling out to others. We played the pipe for you, and you did not dance. We sang a dirge, and you did not mourn. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they said, 'He has a demon.' The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, 'He is a glutton and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners.' But wisdom is proved right by her deeds." I just found it interesting that, first of all, that Jesus would even call himself that, right? I mean, this is the Messiah, this is the Savior, the Lord, of which everything submits to him. And he refers to himself as a glutton and a drunkard. That is the man right there, right? He doesn't care about labels, right? He doesn't care about surface stuff. He doesn't care about what people see. He cares about what they do. He cares about what's in their hearts. He cares about what they believe. But he's also making the point that certain people just aren't going to believe no matter what. You can show them the most rigid, abstaining, fasting, devout person of God, and will make no impact. And you can show them a man of the people who will indulge anybody to try and get into their heart, and that will make no impact. So what are you going to do? Nothing. You can't take it personal. Jesus didn't take it personal. Maybe he did take it personal. I think he felt discouraged here. I think he felt sad that even though he knew he wasn't going to save everybody, he wanted to. He wanted to. He lamented every person that walked past him. He lamented every person that walked past him. Even though he knew he wasn't going to save them. Even though he knew they weren't going to hear him. He still cared. And we have to be the same mindset. We have to care. We have to do the best we can to love people. And we can't measure it based on what happens. Where does it go? Are we applauded? Does someone take off in their faith? That's not for us to worry about, to consider. It's not a part of the equation. That's for God. That's for God. But sometimes we get caught up playing God, don't we? Yes, we do. We think, we got it figured out. We're just little sheep, right? Jesus called to his sheep and we responded. Now our job is to do the same thing, but in the end, it's God's. It's God's people, it's God's way, it's God's kingdom, it's God's creations, it's God's commands, it's God's decrees. We didn't make any of this up. It's all been given to us. It's all been provided to us. You didn't do any of this on your own, not a single person. So why try and take any credit for it? If there's any boasting, is that we can act in love. We can do things in love. And we know that when we're laboring for God, we are not laboring in vain. That's it. That's it. That point's made 100 times in the Bible. Anything done with love in the name of the Lord is good. Whatever happens, if someone spits in your face, what you did was good. If someone laughs in your face, you did not labor in vain. You did it for the Lord. I know it's hard to accept, right? Because we don't measure things generally that way. If you're at work and you hand in some kind of project or an assignment, someone whizzes on it, you're not going to feel like you were a success. And that's the total difference here. Just by extending someone, our time, our energy, our love, our patience, we won. No matter what happens, no matter what comes of it, we won. And God won. Better yet. So don't get discouraged. Sometimes I get discouraged. Sometimes I think it's my own inadequacy, my own inability to articulate what I need to articulate. But again, it's not my job. My job's only to try with the skills and abilities that I've been blessed with, and from there, it goes where it goes. I probably said that a lot. It goes where it goes, but it's true. We don't control anything. All we can control is our attitude and our effort. My God, man, my one of my daughter's softball coaches said that like 6 years ago, and that's always stuck in my head. That's the only thing we control is our attitude and our effort. Everything else, we can't control. We want to control it. We think we can control it. We think we're good enough. We think we can be good enough, but we can't. It's just not the appointed time, and we don't make that decision. I know. It'd just be easier, if everything just fell our way all the time. It's just never going to happen. In fact, the more that we've been equipped to deal with, the more we're going to have to deal with. You ever see how that works? The more we've been blessed with, the more responsibility we have. The more power we have, the more testimony we're going to have to need. We're going to have to come by. We're going to witness. God just continually pushes us, He wants us to be the very best versions of ourselves. He wants us to find love in all situations. He wants us to be excited about the idea of something, even when it looks ugly. That takes a lot of training. It takes a lot of renewal. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, I gotta go. Time to pray. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. So whether you are an abstainer, a faster, a partaker, an indulger, do it to your best effort and do it in the Lord, and all is good. Later.